Hello.
Blessed Rising family. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. How I'm going to take a second and say thank you for making that genius video. And
Yes.
thank you, StreamYard, for allowing us this. But I feel the excitement. No, thank you. I feel the excitement. I have an angel here who is providing me with coffee
Yes.
and making coffee.
Angels.
I give thanks to the family who will always open their doors and open their hearts and have us in here. Family, wherever you are tuning in from the world, please let us know where you're from and where you're tuning in from, if that's different than where you're from. We're so grateful that you are able to join us. We're so grateful that we're able to bring you another day, another Africa Week 2020, and another reunion. If you have missed yesterday for whatever reason, go back and see those videos. Do it, do it, do it. You will not regret it. Um, we have a continuation of all our forms of resistance today. We will tell you a little bit about it. We have Beto, who will be joining us and coming in with the drums to help us start our day. Let's see if he's ready to tune in. Yes.
Morning.
Yeah.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Yeah. I look like I'm up now, right? I look like I'm up. Finally. In a second my face changed.
You held the drum for just a second, Beto. What can we say?
So that intro song that we have is a song by a great bombero called Ivan Davila, and it talks about uh, when enslaved Africans were here in Puerto Rico. They didn't want to be a slave anymore. So it was a shout of freedom. De mare, de mare, de mare, con gualamanigua. De mare, de mare, de mare, con gualamanigua. No quiero ser llama esclavo, lo que quiero es la libertad. De mare, de mare, de mare, con gualamanigua. Ay de mare, ay de mare con cual la liberté, de mare con cual la manigua, de Mayagüe hasta Guayama, y a la Julia ella le cagoté, de mare con cual la manigua. Just short and sweet.
That was lovely. So, what does Dimare itself mean?
The mare is a shout for freedom.
It's the shout for freedom.
Yes.
What a way to start our day. As we communicate resilience in all we do. What a way to start the day.
What a way to start all of the shared the shared the shared content that people bring, because I don't know if everybody knows, but Beto made that song for us for Africa Week. I'm adding all the titles, by the way, so that people know that. But yeah, that's what a gift to share that with us, Beto.
It's amazing. All these people that are writing stuff like Bárbara right there. She's a very important piece in the equation. She's a maraca maker. So the maraca is probably the most important instrument in bomba. You know, it's the one that carries that starts everything. This is the starter. You know, like so. Bárbara is an amazing maraca maker. And the other person that wrote something, Julie Laporte, is another incredible woman from Bámbula, from the south, a very loved sister, and one of the bomba greats that we have in Puerto Rico. So it's cool that they're all linking up. Early in the morning.
And it's intentional. It's cool and it's intentional. We are calling each and every one of you.
It's interesting that concept about coolness, you know, being an African concept. The concept of cool, not as in a physical sense of, you know, cold of temperature, but rather the philosophical and the aesthetics of coolness is a Nigerian concept. It's important in the Yoruba tradition to keep your head cool. So that's where that thing about cool comes from.
Okay, we have someone saying the sound is low.
Whose sound? My sound?
Whose sound is low? Could you specify? Can you hear us clear, Alexandra? Can you try speaking?
Okay.
Can Riso say good morning to the family?
I feel like my mic usually comes in high, so I sometimes doubt it. I don't think it's going to be me.
No,
I turned my sound up a little bit, just in case.
Okay. Okay. Please let us know if you can hear us better. Let's say who's here, who's saying hello. Blessings, everyone. Julie, Louise.
Taller Kenuati, Luis Vega. Hello.
Yapet Girma, Marianne Torres Lopez. Any relation?
Oh, that's Marianne. Ausuba, Master Jedi, right there. Oh my God, how about Ausuba yesterday?
I mean, people were texting me like, "This is giving life. I'm alive again." Those women just, and how they started too, on a borrowed drum.
Yes.
Sort of rejected in this society around, or I shouldn't say, or culture, because they're women around bomba, and to borrow a drum and then to just sort of go to each person and collect bit by bit and turn it into that powerful group is I think
it's a testament to the resilience and the power of women.
Yes.
Empowering themselves to empower others. I was empowered by them yesterday, you know. Yes. So yeah, it was amazing.
You weren't alone, and this is exactly why I say, you know, if anyone asks why do women need to run the world, we just need to send them a clip of that. We have so many clips. Yesterday, as you said, it was just infused by the power of women, and naturally we have the testament of the woman who birthed yesterday in all its intricacy and all its navigations of tracking people from South Africa to Puerto Rico to Portland to everywhere, and make this happen. Yes. It really was a fantastic way to honor and be a testament to the power of women, to the power of Black women.
Yes.
And
how about Jamie Filbert? Oh my Lord!
She moved me.
What? That's
In that
level.
panel, I also want to add, like, that panel was full of very powerful people with
Yes.
everybody had this like really clear power and openness and truth, but everybody's personalities could not be more different
Mm,
in that panel. I was marveling at that.
right.
It was just like I felt wholeness because of that, because of the spectrum of personalities,
Yes.
all communicating in very different ways, but all with similar power. I thought that was very. I really appreciate that diversity.
Yes. Definitely. All the panels were strong. All the panels were uplifting and definitely educational, which is part of our mission. Uh, since day one, since the first time Dima said, "Hey, I want to do something," I know that was it. I know that was, this is it. This is what she wanted to do. So we're just following through, uh, on Mama's dream.
breathing life, and bringing. When we say what do you bring to the table? If you remember, and again, people, family, friends tuning in. If you ever wonder why we say reach out, fam, if we ever say you are everything, so tell us what you're bringing to the table. Take a moment and go to our website, which we'll be talking about later on today, and go to the tab Reach Out Fam. You'll see that under Beto's name, we have Soul Brother Oasis of Knowledge. And if you haven't seen it when we launched in May, if you haven't seen it yesterday, you must have felt it today as you will continue. And I told Alexandra this. One of my sisters sent a message, and it's in the comments from your May conversation. She said she felt like she was attending a thesis defense when you were speaking. She felt like she was absorbing so much knowledge. It was like she was sitting at a doctoral thesis defense. And that's how I felt through yesterday, through hearing these our family's truth from around the world. And family, this is why we tell you, tell us where you're coming from, tell us where you're tuning from, because this is only going to be growing. Just yesterday, our family grew officially on Facebook, 81 new members. Actually, I think now it's more. Yesterday evening, it was 81 new members, and we keep growing. But tell us where you're coming from, tell us where you are, and tell us what you want to hear, what you want to learn about, what you want to talk about. What do you feel is missing from these conversations?
Yes.
Because between us, and I don't just mean the three people you see in front of you in the screen, I mean us, between all of us, we have everything we need to elevate, to rise.
Yes, the family gathering at the end, the closing, was amazing in itself. I mean, we didn't want to let go, we didn't want to let go. And then Joey Sasa came in, and then Ada was amazing. I mean, we need Ada, to
with all the panels that she's suggesting.
Yeah, she has like 10 panels.
I hope she knows we're holding her to Ada. If you're listening, I hope you know we're holding you firm.
You'll hear from us.
Yeah. So this is beautiful. We got a lot of people showing up from Puerto Rico. Vivian and the person before, Angela Lomar, is Angela Lomar. His name here in Puerto Rico is culture. So that man it's culture in himself. So mad respect to him and everything he does. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for taking the time to tune in and join us as we start today. The theme today, as it is every day, here in Africa Week 2020, and within each and every one of us, the theme is always Africa Rising. we are Africa rising.
Yes.
And how do we embody that? How do we wake up in the morning, look at that mirror, and say, we are Africa rising? What does that mean to you? What does that mean to each and every one of us? And how do we embody it? How do we extend it? How do we send it out to the universe so our family everywhere in the world can catch the ripple so it can go back? It can go to you and back to us with everything you are carrying, with everything you are feeling. Please, family, we have 24 people tuned in right now. I expect to see some answers flowing through. When you say, we are Africa rising, what does that mean to you? Alexandra, what does we are Africa rising mean to you?
It changes every time because we've been doing this since May, and I've heard these terms, but you're the first person to sort of bring it very closely into my consciousness, and so it changes. But I know for me, this journey of identity, my human identity, is that I grew up not really understanding heritage. I grew up not really understanding where I was from and what was inside me. I didn't grow up with the cultural practices of ancestry and spirituality, and so I had to find that. That's been my whole life's work, is finding out who I really am, and that literally took me to Africa, and so it's very timely to hear that, like within the same year of me going to Africa, you coming, being like, Africa rising, and so for me, it's coming back to sort of my own mission in life, which is knowing who I really am. That's knowing who I really am. I am Africa.
Yes.
I just think of it as simply in that way.
Yes.
And this is what you do. You remind people of who you are,
That's
who they are. And in doing that, we're reminding ourselves. Mr. United States of Africa with that brilliant t-shirt. Okay, can we just take a moment to appreciate this t-shirt? Thank you.
Yes. To me, Africa Rising is my own voyage of self-discovery since I was a child. I always felt as a Caribbean man that I was part of this great ancestral continent and everything that she brought to the Caribbean. And so this learning process about who am I in this equation, that's what Africa Rising is to me. It's like every day I come up a little bit. So before we continue, I do want to honor an amazing human being, an amazing bambulero and plenero who passed on and lost his battle with cancer this morning, Norberto Sanchez. So thank you for everything you did. You will live forever in our drum.
Let's take a moment to send some prayers to family. A loss to one of us is a loss to all of us.
Yeah. Bye bye. So, yeah, it's I think it's a celebration of his life rather than being sad. Yeah, it's just.
We have someone else watching over us with the drums, with the music, sending this fantastic energy. I want to ask Alexandra to give us some to help us breathe as we start this day. And for those of you who don't know, who haven't been following Alexandra Loves, please take a moment and find her page on Facebook and follow her. She does these amazing, short but sweet breathing exercises to remind us of the importance of breath. She'll tell you more about this. Please take a moment and breathe with us as we take in this new day and this new opportunity to be better, to be stronger, to love more, and send all this light. Thank you, Alexandra.
So we do really simple breath that everybody has access to. And this is how you play with this breath. When you get to the top of your inhale and you think that's where I stop, sip in a little bit more air. Do it 3 times. Mouth or nose, it doesn't matter. I do my nose, but I'm going to exaggerate to show you. When you get to the bottom of your exhale, you want to squeeze out a little bit more out of your lungs, okay? And I'm going to exaggerate this, and I'm going to have you start playing with this right now, and then I will tell you the reasons why while you play with this breath. So we'll start with an inhale now. And when you get to the top of this inhale, sipping in a little bit more air. And then exhale. And when you get to the bottom, squeezing out just a little bit more air. Whatever's left. And again. Squeezing out whatever's left. And as you continue on with this breath, I'm going to tell you why we do breath this way. And that is, we're in this time right now where we're being asked to be more, to expand, to become who we really are. And in order to do that, we have to create space. And sometimes there's pressure in that. How do I become more of who I am? How do I grow? How do I expand when there's so much pressure from a system, so much pressure from maybe our family, so much that's sort of coming to attempt to control? We start with breath. We start our resistance, our revolution, our expansion, our growth. It all starts with our breath. So when we get to that top of that inhale and we ask for a little more, which you're doing right now, it's a practice and a reminder that you have the capacity, that you can do this by your own will, that no matter what's going on, you can expand. You can create more space, even when you're scared, even when there's pressure. There's more space for you. You can grow at your will, at any time. That's why we practice this breath. And when we get to the bottom of our exhale, and we squeeze out just a little bit more breath. This is a practice and a reminder to let go of what we don't need. Let it go every time you get to that exhale. Just let it go. Wring it out. Because in order to get to that expansion and that growth, we got to let go of the conditioning, of the identities we've been given that don't make sense, of the attachments to the beliefs that are not for us, to some of the anxiety, some of the pressure that's building up within us. We have access to this at any time, no matter what's going on around us. Coming back to that breath, wherever you are in the breath. Sipping in a little bit more air at the top. Expanding, growing. And at the bottom, letting go. I let go. I don't need this anymore. I'm making more room. And as you continue on with this breath, focusing on gratitude for anything, for the color purple, for this event at Africa Week 2020, for the friend sitting next to you. And I want to acknowledge that some of us are under a lot of pressure, that for some of us, finding something to be grateful for sometimes is a big challenge. And so for those of you who have that challenge, just be grateful for the ability to breathe. I can breathe. I can breathe. I can breathe. Be grateful for the ground that you sit on. I am held by the ground. Be grateful for the water that you drink. Life-giving water. Water is life. Rolling through these breaths. And I'm calling you back in. If you started going somewhere else with your thoughts, whatever it is that's coming into your mind, you can meet with those thoughts later. Come back to this moment right now. Allow yourself this self-care. I'm giving you permission to be selfish in this self-care. It is necessary and critical for you to be selfish in this moment about your breath. It is what gives you life. If you like to give other people life, you need to give yourself life first. Come back to this breath. Allowing it to be okay if you can only sip in a little bit more at the top. It's okay, just a little bit. 1 degree means everything. And at the bottom, letting go what you don't need. And we'll take a few more breaths like this. Feeling the waves of relaxation coming on. Relishing in this expansion and this growth that is your will and that you have access to at any time. You can breathe, you can expand, you can grow. It is yours. It is your birthright, your divine right. No matter who you are, it is for everyone. And letting go. This is a practice and a reminder of what you are capable of your will and your power. And let these last 2 breaths be the most expansive that you've taken today. Thank you for joining me in that. May your ancestors bless you. May they move obstacles out of your way and open all the doors for you that you need opened. Bless you, bless you. Thank you for joining us in that way.
Thank you. It's so simple, but so powerful what you do. That simple reminder that we can breathe. And I think I've had this conversation with you about some of the chants that have been going on now with the protests across the streets of the United States of America.
Yes.
Ooh, we have Ivalis
Yeah.
joining us, the
Hello.
birthday queen. I will add.
Hello.
Buenos días.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Hi. What's up, Diva? What's up, Alessandra? Qué
Hi.
rico y beto, mi hermano. Gracias por tenerme aquí. Thank you.
¡Feliz cumpleaños, mulatota! ¡Te amo!
Yes. Yay. Feliz
Con el-
cumpleaños.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to wake up, to be here. And especially in these hard times, right? We're living some very transparent times. And I'm very happy to be here and starting off my birthday with this amazing initiative, amazing platform, Africa Week 2020. Thank you so much for having me here. This is setting the tone, and so I'm really humbled and honored to be here. Gracias.
It is our honor and our privilege to have you. In fact, when I was posting yesterday about each of the speakers on the panel, on your panel, which by the way starts at 9:15, so stay tuned. For each one there was a glimpse about something one of the artists said, and for you it's like all you need to know about this queen is that she is choosing to spend her birthday with you, and if that's not a blessing,
Thank you.
if that's not love. I
This
don't
is-
know what is, and I hope you're seeing all the love that's coming through on the comments on the side.
I
Just
can't see it. Where it's at. I
remind
can't see.
people that
Oh.
saying you.
Mariem, Bárbara, Awilda. Oh, I see it. Qué rico. Buenos días, mi gente. Qué bello. We lost an elder today as well, Norberto, and Ramon Lopez. So, definitivamente, I just want to abrazar a mi pueblo, abrazar a todo Puerto Rico, abrazar a toda la gente de la cultura que hemos perdido dos de nuestros mayores in the last 3 days. So, definitely peace y mucho amor a todos.
Breathe, 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 breathe. And I go back to the point I was making, and then I yield to you to start and bless our day with your beautiful voice. But I just want to remind everyone of what Alexandra is saying in relation to the chants we are hearing on the streets. When we hear people say, I can't breathe, I personally understand that it is a form of solidarity and to remind people of George Floyd. But we also have to remember the power of our words. If we are walking down the streets and we are saying, I can't breathe, that is what we are putting out there. The truth is, we can. We still can. And as long as we have that breath, and as long as we are able to expand it just a little bit more, to take in a little bit more, just like Alexandra was saying, then we have a breath and it's a longer breath, and we need to use that breath to remind ourselves and remind our family and remind everyone that we are here. We've been here and we're staying here. And this is how we communicate resilience. This is it. We can breathe.
This is exactly why I started doing those free breath exercises on my page. It was the week after we did Africa Week. We came out. George Floyd was executed, and then we came out, and I was like, "Oh, I immediately need to start doing I Can Breathe." And it started with me chanting "I Can Breathe" within these breathing exercises, because our words are spells, and because we're in this time of transparency, and because we're in this time where all of our gifts are coming to the surface. We have to remember that we can move mountains and we can build empires with starting on our words. And so one of the messages that continues to come through over and over again is that our job right now is to create, to make. We actually don't have to worry about unmaking. We actually don't have to worry about deconstructing systems and destroying systems. The focus right now is to create. And in our creation, those systems will continue to crumble and fall. And that might sound counterintuitive to some people, I know. it's counterintuitive to me because I like to destruct things sometimes. Now is the time of create. And so I was also very sensitive to hearing, I can't breathe, I can't, no justice, no peace, and I'm on the streets. And I understand why, but we've evolved. I believe that it's time to evolve past that and say, this is what it will be. That's what they're doing. This is what it'll be. This is what you will do. This is how we will control you. It's time for us to all assume, I can breathe. We will have dignity. We will have peace. We build this together. Those are the chants that I want to hear. And I think those chants probably are happening around the world in different ways. I would love more of it.
Definitely. And I think it's very important to have a little bit of everything, because there's space for everybody. The best way to dismantle and destroy is to create, right? Because, sometimes the foundation of what we're fighting against, that's not even a foundation that I can assimilate with, or any of our Black and brown brothers and sisters. It's something that doesn't serve us at all. So it would make sense for us to start rebuilding and recreating. I also feel like it's very important to be heard. As ugly as the truth may feel or may sound, I think it's really important, because one of the things that we have to also put in conversation, ¿verdad? Una de las cosas que tenemos que siempre tener en cuenta es que when we speak truth, we heal. And so when we're speaking out, I can't breathe. And when we're speaking out, we need to remind people of what's going on. We are so oppressed that we are so trained to see the sunlight, even though we're dying here. And we need to kind of change the magnets of how this goes. And I think that's why when I say que se necesita todo, you need your fighters. You need the ones that are going to speak up. You need the ones that are going to follow. You need the creative minds. You need the spaces, and it's so beautiful. And you need the people that are mad. Lo que se atreven a decirlo otra vez y otra vez y otra vez. You need all those people, and it's beautiful. And that's what makes us gente de resistencia, people of resistance. When we stand up together, there are some things that maybe my soul can't say it, but I got a brother and sister that's going to say it for me. And I may sing it away, but somebody else may dance it away. Somebody else may drum it away. Somebody else may show up and initiate it another way, And so I think all that is so important, ¿verdad? What we want is transparency. And so transparency doesn't pick an emotion, the transparency just chooses where we want to be. No matter if we're mad, sad, whatever, tenemos que llegar, because that is the true essence de lo que es resistencia. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, but the results, is something that you definitely will take care and you will nurture to, and you will do all that good stuff, and it is true. Balance is delicate. Balance is very delicate. But as long as we're present, we allow ourselves to learn. And sometimes una persona puede llegar a un espacio con otras creencias, other beliefs and everything. And until you don't share space and you allow people to learn, which is something I'm also learning too, 2 months ago, I was like, because I was so upset. And it's upsetting. It's so upsetting what's going on in the world, and how, the mistreatment. It's just like, we've seen it for all our lives. We're unpacking now. We said, you know what, this box is here. Let's open it. I'm tired of just looking at it. Let's unpack it,
Speaking of unpacking, we have 2 minutes. So I will actually end this panel and start the other one, who Ivalis will be with us, and she will be speaking more about her journey and her truth with music, with resistance, with resilience, and evolution. Stay tuned. Refresh the page as we open up this new live, because we don't ever want to put Alexandra through what she had to go through for the May cutting video madness.
Still cutting videos.
Family, stay tuned. We have more coming to you and for you. Tell us where you're coming from. Tell us what you're looking forward to. We'll be back shortly. Thank you, thank you, thank you.